I'm Phil.
Hi, I'm Kate.
So we are going to talk today about a specific problem that can cause people a lot of pain, particularly when they're active, and that is
Shin splints.
shin splints. So shin splints refers to pain in the shin. Now you have to have shins to get shin splint. We've determined that.
Correct.
But it's not everyone that gets it. It's only certain people at certain times. So we might talk more specifically. The shin is the front of the lower leg, and particularly the bone. So if you feel the front of your leg, you'll feel a bone that's prominent, and that's your tibia. So we're generally talking about pain in and around the tibia. So the condition we call shin splints can refer to a few different conditions. So we're going to be really technical now. We're going to talk about a type of shin splints called medial tibial stress syndrome. So that's mainly a bone injury of the tibia. So Kate, who is most likely to get shin splints?
Yeah, so we see lots of people come into clinic with shin splints. Often it's people who have been quite active, running. Often people who maybe don't have the right footwear, have underlying biomechanical issues going on, even underlying bone conditions, mineral density sort of issues as well, like osteoporosis. That affects obviously bone structure, strength, and that puts you at high risk of getting something like shin splints as well.
Yeah, so being a bone injury, so with the things you just talked about, lower bone density, that definitely affects women more than men, and particularly at certain age groups. So that's what we'll normally find. It's more women than men that are getting it, and they're usually, like you said, they're increasing their loading. They're putting more load through that bone, so they're starting to get this pain. So the actual detail of what's happening in the bone is, you may have heard of a fracture. A fracture is where a bone will crack. A stress fracture is where you get small little cracks into the bone, but the bone itself hasn't actually cracked. Now that's the end product, but the medial tibial stress syndrome is the start of that process. So if 0 is nothing and 10 is a stress fracture, medial tibial stress syndrome sort of develops around that 4 or 5 level and builds up. And the worse it is, the more painful it is, the closer it's getting to that actual proper
fracture point.
Fracture. And it's something to keep in mind. If you are getting pain in the shin, it's not getting better, you really need to get it looked at. Because it could be causing a lot of pain. So if someone was to come in with shin pain, Kate, what would be the first sort of things you would do to just determine what sort of pain it is, if it is shin splints? What kind of assessments or tests would you do?
So we'd have a look at the way you stand, the way you walk, potentially even the way you're running as well too, whether there's different biomechanical issues going on that increasing your risk of getting this sort of injury, but also looking at the shoes that you're wearing, having a bit of a poke around on your leg to see where you're getting this pain as well. That can help differentiate whether it's this or whether it's something else as well too.
Because there are so many other things that can cause pain in the lower leg as well, from tears to compartment syndromes, particularly in athletes like this. So now all we do all day long at our clinic, people come in and they tell us about their foot pain and their leg pain. So I don't think we're bragging. We get pretty good at it. So we can actually hear your story, look at you walking, and we can determine fairly quickly whether you have this injury or something else. But that's really something we can help with.
Definitely.
Occasionally we need to refer for imaging for this. So an MRI is really helpful because it can tell a fracture, a stress reaction or a stress fracture even won't often show up, particularly early on, won't show up in an x-ray or an ultrasound even. So an MRI can be helpful because it can tell us if there's bone edema or actually swelling in the bone and where that tissue stress is building. So it really helps us. Now, if you are having this kind of problem, the sooner you can get in to see us, the better, because it's definitely the sort of injury that will get better quicker if you catch it early. I'm thinking of the last half a dozen people that I've recently helped with this. Most of them have had a fantastic result once we've assessed their biomechanical situation and we've used orthotic therapy, which is what we've decided to do to help with them, and it's made a huge difference. So an orthotic is something we make that gets the foot working better, so it affects the way the foot hits the ground. And particularly if the foot is pronating too much or rolling in too much, it'll put a bending moment on the tibia itself, which is what sort of causes that pain. So, and you'd find that too, Kate?
Yeah, and helping to correct that makes a massive difference really, really quickly as well. Yeah. And prevents other injuries as well too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's rarely just the only problem someone has. They've got a few other things.
Definitely.
Knee pain is a really common problem as well with that. Now, if you've never heard of this, or if you're thinking, oh, I might have shin splints, or if you have tried to get some help with your shin splints and been doing exercises and rehabilitation and you're not getting anywhere, I think it would be a good idea to come and see us, because we can often find that missing part of the way your foot and leg is functioning and address that and get you back out there playing footy, doing your running, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, without any pain again. Exactly. So it's a very rewarding problem to fix.
Definitely.
Yeah. It can really slow people down and make them quite miserable. So it's such a great problem to fix, so you can get back out of it again. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and if you need help, don't be afraid to come and visit us. Bye.
Bye.